You've got kids. Even if you're a minimalist, you've got kid stuff. And if you're taking it all to Walt Disney World for a magical, fun-filled vacation, well, it sounds great. But how do you maneuver all those kids and all that stuff all over 4 gigantic theme parks, your hotel, and maybe an airport or 2? Well, with a stroller, of course. And here's the ultimate stroller guide to answer all of your questions. What's up, everybody? It's Nick from Who Dat Travel. Now, I am diving into the world of strollers because, well, you know what? I have gotten used to a stroller at Disney, and honestly, I don't know if I'll ever be able to go without a stroller. But there are so many questions out there of how to rent them, where to rent them, do I bring my own, do I need a stroller, that we're here to answer those for you. And if you like these videos, please give it a huge thumbs up, smash that like button if that's what you're into. It really does help spread my video out to other people so they can get helped and to know if they need a stroller or not. Well, without further ado, let's get going. Let's start off with the easy question. Do I really need to use a stroller at Walt Disney World? And, well, to be honest, my answer is going to be yes. If you're even considering if you need a stroller, the answer is probably yes. Now, if you've got a child age 6 or under, chances are you're going to want access to a stroller at some point during your Disney World vacation. Even your 7 or 8-year-old might find himself or herself asking for some stroller time. You're sitting here going, well, wait a minute. My child hasn't used a stroller at home in years. Why would he or she need one at Walt Disney World? Now, we wear step counters on every trip we go on. We typically walk somewhere in between 8 and 15 miles every day of our Disney World vacation. Just one lap around the World Showcase area of Epcot is 1.1 miles. Now, if you do that for several days in a row, you're going to end up tired. Now imagine walking that much with tiny legs of a 4 or 6-year-old in 90-degree heat. So generally, my question is, can your child walk up to 10 miles every day of your Walt Disney World vacation and not complain? If the answer is yes, then no, you don't need a stroller. If you even hesitated for a second, you need a stroller. Another reason to consider using a stroller is the safety factor. Let's face it, Walt Disney World can be a crowded place, particularly during high-intensity times like park closing or during the fireworks. Even if you're holding a child's hand, it's quite possible to lose them in the melee. To avoid separation or having your child get accidentally stepped on by another guest, it might be easier to keep them in confines of a stroller where you're in charge of the direction and the pace of the movement. Another thing to consider is some children simply become overwhelmed by the constant stimulation at Walt Disney World. A stroller can be a safe haven, a contained environment where a child can go temporarily to regroup and to decompress. Should I bring my own stroller or rent one from Walt Disney World? Now, this is a personal decision, and I'll talk you through some of the things that you may want to consider. But in general, I recommend that guests bring their own strollers rather than rent one from Walt Disney World. Now, why is that? The first factor is going to be pricing. The Walt Disney World stroller rentals currently cost $15 for a single day, single stroller rental, $31 for a single day double stroller rental, or $13 a day for a length of stay, a multi-day single stroller rental, or $27 for a length of stay, multi-day double stroller rental. Now, if you do the math, you'll find that renting a double stroller for a week will cost $189. Run a quick search on Amazon for double umbrella stroller, and you'll find that dozens of models for sale less than half of that price. Even if you leave the stroller at Walt Disney World and never use it again, you're gonna come out financially ahead. How does length of stay pricing work? On the first day of your visit, stop by any of the stroller rental stands at the theme parks or at Disney Springs. Let them know how long you're going to be visiting Walt Disney World, and they'll charge you the discounted length of stay rate. You will also be given a receipt which shows that you've paid for your entire visit. Anytime you need a stroller during the rest of your vacation, go up to one of the stroller rental stands and show them the receipt. They'll give you a stroller at no additional charge. What if I have a park hopper ticket and move to a different park? Now, you only have to pay for Disney stroller rental at one theme park per day. If you park hop, just remove your family's name place card from the stroller and take that and your rental receipt to your second park of the day. At the second park, show them the receipt and they'll hook you up with a new stroller. Are Disney strollers clean? Well, The strollers are giving basic daily cleaning, but they're not digging deep to find every possible element of ugh. For example, if the family before you spilled a cup of ice cream in the stroller, the plastic seat area will be certainly clean. However, the fabric seat belt, well, may have a little bit of sticky left on it. To summarize, if you're a super germaphobe, you're going to want to bring your own stroller. What else should I know about the Disney rental strollers? They are incredibly sturdy, but not very comfortable. The Disney strollers are made of hard plastic. The seating area has no padding or cushioning of any kind. The Disney strollers do not recline, so if you're planning to have your child nap in the stroller, they're going to have to do sitting directly upright. It's basically a kid-shaped wheelbarrow. The double strollers have no physical divider between the spaces for each child. It's like a bench-style seat rather than a separated bucket-style seat of most non-commercial doubles. This means that two children sharing this stroller will inevitably be touching each other. Hot, sweaty, exhausted siblings touching each other. You know where this is going. The other thing is, I have seen countless parents yell at their children for keeping their feet inside the stroller. These strollers are very low, and the children love to put their feet on the ground, thus also trying to get themselves run over. So safety may always be a little bit questionable here. So I can use Disney rental strollers anywhere at Walt Disney World, right? Wrong. The Walt Disney rental strollers can only be used at the theme parks and at Disney Springs. This means that you cannot use Disney rental strollers at any of the water parks or at any of the Disney resort hotels. And if you plan to have your only stroller be a Disney rental stroller, this also means that you won't have access to the stroller at the airport or at any of the Disney World parking lots either. Are there weight limits for Disney strollers? There are posted recommendations for the Disney strollers that the capacity of a single rental is 50 pounds, and the capacity of a double rental is 100 pounds. These are really guidelines rather than rules. I've never seen a child weighed at a rental station. Okay, I'll be honest, they don't have scales. So basically, as long as your child fits comfortably into the rental, you can assume that it's probably okay. Are Disney rental strollers appropriate for small babies? I'm just going to say no. Again, the rental strollers are unpadded and they have bench-style seating. They're meant for a child who can sit up on their own for an extended period of time. So what are some of the alternatives? Well, of course, you can bring your own stroller with you to the parks, and I'll get to that more in detail in just a second. But if you want or need to rent in the Disney area, there are dozens of vendors that do rent strollers. However, Disney has recommended 3 major companies: Kingdom Strollers, Magic Strollers, and Orlando Stroller Rentals. These companies are no longer able to drop off at Disney hotels, so it will be necessary to arrange a pickup with the company. Each company is different, so you will have to find out the process from them. How does outside rental vendor pricing compare to that of Disney World's pricing? The outside vendors have a wider array of options available, so it's a little bit of an apples to oranges situation. But generally, you'll find that the outside vendor pricing is lower than that of Disney stroller rental pricing. And as a big added bonus, you can use those outside vendor rentals anywhere. At your hotel, at other area theme parks, in the parking lot. It really is a added bonus. Now, why specifically should you bring your own stroller Walt Disney World? Well, here are a few reasons. The first is no additional cost. If you already own a stroller, you can go ahead and throw it into your vehicle, or most major airline carriers will allow you to check a free stroller. Second is your child's familiarity with the stroller, the comfort factor. Your child knows their stroller and they can be comfortable there. The next is the adult familiarity with the stroller. You're going to have to know how to fold your stroller. You're going to have to know where the brake is, all of that kind of thing, and that is just a little bit easier when it's your own. The next is the storage area of the stroller are smallish and perhaps not what you're used to. Also, the lack of significant storage in Disney means you're probably going to have to carry your own diaper bag at least some of the time. Next, you are able to use it anywhere. Just think about a long day at the park and having to turn in your stroller and then walk out to the parking lot. To be honest, my little man crashes out in his stroller more often than I'd like to admit and is asleep by the time that we get to the vehicle. So really, having him be able to sleep just a little bit longer is a very nice thing. If I bring my own stroller, is there a size or style that works better than others? Now that is subjective. The right stroller for your Disney World vacation will depend on the age and size of your child, the number of children you have, the number of adults in your party, your child's napping habit, the outdoor temperature in Florida when you're there, what you're used to, and any number of other factors. Depending on your family situation, the right Disney stroller could be a single umbrella, a sit-and stand, a convertible with a car seat attachment, a double jogger, or just about anything in between. What are the rules for strollers? The published rules for strollers are: strollers larger than 31 inches or 79 centimeters in width and 52 inches or 132 centimeters in length are not permitted. Stroller wagons are also not permitted. Strollers are not allowed on escalators. Use of strollers is permitted on elevators and ramps available at certain locations. A child must be removed from his or her stroller while riding on a bus or parking lot tram. Now, the stroller also has to be folded to get onto the tram and the bus. Do not leave personal belongings in an unattended stroller. Strollers may be moved by a cast member due to operational needs. We don't own a stroller anymore, but I think my child might need one at Disney. Are rentals my only options? Well, of course not. You can definitely ask a good friend that still has a stroller, hey, can we borrow that? But other than that, you could make a quick trip to Target or Walmart and find a basic umbrella style stroller that could be less than $25. This obviously won't be a high-end model, but it might be just the thing that you need to stave off the whining for 2 or 3 days. At the end of your trip, you can always just leave it with your hotel front desk, offer it to another family on social media, or you can bring it home and donate it. If you don't want to deal with bringing the throwaway stroller to Orlando yourself, you could always arrange for a mail order vendor like Amazon to ship it directly to your resort. How do I know which stroller is mine? Many strollers do look alike. When renting from either Disney or an outside vendor, they will give you a large card imprinted with your family name, which you will place in a transparent pocket on the stroller. This identifies it as yours. Additionally, many guests try to temporarily personalize their strollers so they can easily recognize them in a sea of buggies. Typically, this takes the form of a balloon, bandana, ribbon, or even lights. So I prefer a wagon. Can I bring that? The answer is no. Disney actually explicitly says no wagons. Now, you may see them in the park, and that may be because of a DAS pass, or possibly, well, they were lucky and got in. I have seen people turned away by security and also cast members and told that they were unable to bring wagons into the park. The reason being is people were actually hooking them to the back of ECVs, the little scooters, and towing them, and people were actually falling out of them, tipping them, and getting actually hurt. So Disney just banned them. Can I bring my own stroller on Disney transportation? Well, yes. But how you bring it onto Disney transportation depends on the mode of travel. If you're on the monorail or if you're on the boats, well, you are usually able to just wheel them on. But if you are on a bus or a parking lot tram, you're going to actually have to remove your toddler or child and fold up that stroller so that it can get onto the tram or the bus. I'll admit freely, it is a pain, and that's why we generally avoid using the buses. Now, if it is very packed and the monorail is down or that type of thing, then we might take a bus. However, we never take the parking lot trams. Honestly, we can usually walk there just about as fast, and honestly, hey, we're trying to get a couple extra steps in. Can I bring my stroller in lines for the rides? Well, the answer there is usually not. There's stroller parking scattered throughout the theme parks. You'll need to leave your stroller there and walk a few yards to each attraction. The exception to this is actually Kilimanjaro Safari, where you'll take your stroller with you and they'll kind of valet park it for you. It's actually a pretty nice thing. The other reason you may see a guest in line with a stroller is that the child has mobility challenges. If your child cannot walk or has a related medical issue, you can stop by Guest Pass Relations office and they'll give you a stroller used as wheelchair tag. This often allows you to bring your stroller into any line or waiting area in which a wheelchair or ECV would be permitted. I have a really expensive stroller and I'm worried about it getting stolen. Can I bring a lock for it? No. Stroller locks are not permitted at Disney World. There are a few urban legends about strollers being stolen at Walt Disney World, but I have never personally heard about this actually happening. While having your stroller stolen is highly unlikely, it is a near certainty that your stroller will be moved at some point during your stay. There are cast members assigned to keep order at each of the stroller parking lots in the theme parks. As guests enter and leave the area, the cast will straighten the rows and make sure all of the spaces are filled. If you don't see your stroller exactly where you left it, just look nearby and you're bound to find it. This is where some easy personalization, like a balloon tied to the stroller handle, can make spotting your wheels much easier. And of course, you don't want to leave valuables in your stroller when you've left to go on rides. Don't leave anything in your stroller that is valuable or irreplaceable. This means you should take your wallet and cameras with you on the attraction. That being said, most guests do leave some items in their stroller when they're on the rides. You'll routinely see diaper bags, snacks, jackets, and other personal items left in stroller in the lots. I did this dozens of times and have never had a problem. To be honest, the biggest problem that you're going to see is animals getting into your stroller to eat anything that your toddler has left behind. Can I take my stroller into a restaurant? Well, for most table service restaurants, generally no. But exceptions can be made in some circumstances. Large double strollers can be a fire hazard and are usually not allowed into any restaurants in the theme park. The Disney rental strollers are virtually never allowed in at table service restaurants in the park. However, if you have a small, personal stroller and your child has fallen asleep in your meal reservation time, cast members will sometimes take pity on you and allow the stroller inside, particularly if you have a newborn or tiny infant and it would be physically incapable of seating in a high chair if he were awake. If you're in this situation, it never hurts to ask nicely. And in my personal experience and observation, the quick service restaurants and the restaurants in the resorts tend to be somewhat more lenient on this topic, but that's just what I've seen. Can I bring my stroller into the gift shop at Walt Disney World? Usually yes. You might encounter a few shops here and there that will ask you to leave the stroller outside, but for most part, you're okay to shop with the stroller. Just be warned, it is busy in there and can be difficult to drive your stroller around. What can you tell me about stroller rentals at Disney Springs? Now there are a couple differences. Only single strollers are available for rent at Disney Springs, no doubles. Also, there's no need to leave a deposit when renting a stroller at the theme parks. However, when you rent one at Disney Springs, you have to leave a $100 deposit, which is returned to you when you leave. Is it better to bring a front-to-back or a side-to-side double stroller with me to Walt Disney World? Yet again, it's a personal preference thing. I've seen it work both ways. The only thing to be aware of is that side-to-side doubles can be more challenging to get through doorways and through narrow aisles of merchandise. If you think you're going to be doing a lot of shopping with your stroller and you have the option, a front-to-back double might make more sense. What happens to my stroller when it rains? There are frequent flash thunderstorms in Orlando. During the rainy season, it does make sense to keep your stroller covered. If you have your own stroller or are renting one from an outside vendor, you can get a dedicated plastic cover for your model. If you're renting from Disney, try using a poncho as a temporary cover while you're off on the rides. Now I know that I may have come off a little anti-Disney rental, but there are definitely circumstances that I would recommend using a Disney rental stroller. They are a good fallback if you're out in the parks late for 1 or 2 nights with an elementary aged child. Picture a first or second grader who is well out of stroller use at home. He or she may be fine walking around the parks during the day, but if you're planning to close down the Magic Kingdom on a night that it closes at 11, 12, or 1 a.m., then your child may simply not be able to make it. In this case, renting a stroller for the evening could be a great sanity-saving measure. However, if you think you're going to need a stroller at multiple times during your vacation, then other of the options may make more financial sense. When do I know when my child is ready to stop using a stroller at Walt Disney World? Obviously, this is going to be a personal call, but some kids will only really be ready to totally give up a stroller at Disney when they get too physically large to sit in a stroller comfortably. However, I can tell you that it may be harder for mom and dad to give up the stroller than it is going to be for the kids. I really don't know where I'm going to put my water bottle and all of my camera gear when little man gets too old to be in a stroller. All right, I know this was a long one, and I hope it helps you answer all of your stroller questions with the ultimate stroller guide for Walt Disney World. If you liked this video, please hit that thumbs up. It really does help out the channel and spread the video to a larger audience so I can help more people. And if you really like this, please hit that subscribe button and hit the bell to be notified when I release new content. With that being said, we hope that you have a great day, and we'll see you real soon.